Hello everyone, in this video I will show you how I created an n8n automation that will automatically scrape the comments of your YouTube videos and then it will come up with new content IDs based on the scraped comments. This bot will first scrape the comments, then it will look into our database if we have already scraped these comments before. If we haven't scraped these comments before, then it will get sent to an AI agent that will look into our comment if it can help us with new content IDs or if it is fitting our niche or our audience. If it is fitting our niche and our audience, it will go on to an AI agent that will come up with new content IDs and it will get put into our database. I will first do a quick demo on how this workflow works and afterwards I will show you step by step on how you can create this workflow yourself. Okay, so we are in n8n now. And I will do test workflow. The workflow is done, so let's take a look into our Google Sheets and see what it has done. We are into our Google Sheets and we can see that it has scraped 5 comments. And one of the comments are, could something be done for trading? And then the content ID is guiding to apply similar strategies in trading. So with this comment, we got a new ID that we can use to maybe create a video about AI agents for trading. One of the other comments is, my thesis was exactly this kind of RPA low-code flowchart web app. It is cool that it can now be implemented with AI agents. And a new content ID is exploring AI agents in RPA low-code flowchart web apps. So maybe we can create a new video about this topic. The workflow has also scraped a lot of other information. It has scraped the publish time text, the title of the video that we have scraped the comments from, comments count of the video, the ID, the author, the reply count, the vote count, the video ID, the page URL, so we can go to the YouTube video, and then the comment and the content ID. Okay, let's go back to n8n and then I will show you how you can create this workflow. The first thing that we have to do is creating a test workflow trigger, but you can also do a schedule trigger or something else. The schedule trigger can be used to fully automate this workflow. After the test workflow, we gotta create a HTTPS node and this is going to be the scraper of all the comments. And we're gonna use the app Apify. Apify is basically an app that can help you to scrape any website you want. It can help you to scrape YouTube comments, Instagram Reels, LinkedIn accounts, whatever you want. For the scraper that we are going to use, we go to Apify, you have to link your console, then we go to YouTube comments, and then it's the first one from streamers. So you're going to press this one and then you can activate this scraper. The scraper costs about $2 for 1000 scraped comments, so it's pretty cheap. And we gotta add some information to make the scraper work. The first thing that we have to do is fitting in the data from the YouTube video that you want to scrape the comments from. I've just did a random video from Nate Herc and we gotta also add a maximum comments and I only want to scrape 30 comments. Now that this part is set up, we're gonna create a curl to fill in all the data into our HTTPS node. We can create a curl by first copying this part. So you're gonna copy this and then you will go to run actor synchronously with input and get dataset items. Then the thing that you have just copied, it is the actor ID and this actor ID has to be pasted into this part. Then we gotta add our bearer token and the bearer token can be found if you go back to your Apify and then settings, and then to your API integrations, and then here's your API key. It will be created automatically. Then you can copy this one and you can paste it into your bearer token. So you can paste it here. Then the only thing that we have left is that we got to create a body, and the body we can find into our actor. So you go to your actor, then you press YouTube comment scraper, then you go to JSON, and then here's the body, and you can copy this. So you copy that, and then you delete this part and you will copy paste it into your body. Okay, so everything is set up now and then the only thing that we have left is we need to enter the curl into our HTTPS node. The curl can be found by going upwards and then press curl, then go into your HTTPS node and do import curl, and then you can import your curl and then you can press import. I've already done this part, so you only have to do import and then all of these data inputs will be filled in. Then there's one thing left that you have to do, and that is that you have to change your bearer token. Here I've blurred it, but after the bearer you're gonna enter your API code. After you've entered your API code, everything is set up and then we can go to the next node. After the HTTPS node, we're going to create a Google Sheets get rows, and this is basically going to look into our database and it's going to get all of the IDs from the comments that we have already scraped before. So let's take a look into our Google Sheets node. We gotta first add a credential. If you don't have a credential yet, it is very easy to create. Only thing that you have to do is press create new credential. So create new credential, and verify your Google account, and then your credential will be ready to go. The resource will be sheet within document, and the operation will be get rows because we want to look into all of the rows of our Google Sheet. The document is going to be your Google Sheet, and the sheet will be the sheet within your document. And for the filters, it will be CID, and the value is going to be JSON.CID. The JSON.CID can be found by going to the schema and then the HTTPS node, where you can find the CID and you can just drag it in. Then the Google Sheets node will be set up, and then we can move on to the merge node. This merge node will drop all of the comments that we have already scraped before. So let's take a look into our merge node. The mode is going to be combined because we want to combine the data of the Apify HTTPS node and the Google Sheets get rows. So what fields to match does, it is basically going to look into our Apify node and into our Google Sheets node. For the Google Sheets node, it will take all of the CIDs that we have in our Google Sheet. And for the Apify node, it will take all of the CIDs from the comments that we have just scraped. And then it will look and it will match all of the CIDs from the Google Sheet and the Apify. And if it is a match, then it will get dropped, because that means that we have already scraped the comment before. And that's also why we are going to do output type keep non-matches, because the matches are the comments that we have already scraped before, and that's not what we want. Okay, then the merge node is set up, and then we will do an OpenAI messenger model. And this messenger model is going to look into our comments, and it is going to check if we can use that comment to create a new ID. And it will look into the comment if it is fitting our specific audience or niche. So my niche is AI agents, so I do not want to scrape comments that is talking about cooking. For the OpenAI messenger model, you first gotta add a credential. If you don't have a credential yet, then just press create new credential, open the docs, and n8n has a full explanation with a step-by-step guide on how you can create this credential. The resource is going to be a text, and the operation will be messenger model because we want to message the model. For the model, we do a GPT-4o mini. Then we will move on to the first prompt, and this is a role system. In the prompt, we gotta adjust a role. The role is going to be determine whether a given comment contains common themes or ideas that could inspire new content. Then the task will be analyze a provided comment and classify it as either positive yes or not positive no. If it is talking about our niche, our audience, and it can help us with creating new ideas, then it will classify as yes. And if it is not talking about those specific topics, then it will be classified as no. Then I also did some instructions in the prompt. I set it as to be outputted as JSON format, it's important, rules, and I created some examples. So I created 5 examples, and this is important because this can help us to improve the outcome of the messenger model. Then for the next prompt, we're going to give the model our comment that we have to analyze. So it's going to be the comment, and then you're going to the HTTPS node that we have created. You will pick the comment and you will drag it into this data input, and the role is going to be user. Then simplify output has to be on, and output content as JSON also has to be on. For the next node, we're going to create an if node, and this if node is going to drop all of the comments that aren't talking about our specific topic and our niche, and that cannot help us with creating new content IDs. This will just leave us with all of the comments that can help us, and it will be sent to a Google Sheets node. But we will first look into our if node. In the if node, we have 2 parts. The first thing that we have to do is we gotta add is related to this left side. So we will drag it into this data input. Then we will put it on a string is equal to, and then it will be yes, because we want to keep all of the comments that can help us with new content IDs. And then the next node is going to be a Google Sheets, and this Google Sheets will basically fill in all of the data except the new content ID into our Google Sheets. So we gotta add our credential, then we do append row because we want to create a new row. Then the document is going to be our Google Sheet, and the sheet is going to be the sheet within our document. For the map and column mode, we're going to do map each column manually. And then we have to fill in all of the columns. And all of these columns can be found by the merge node. So the data from the merge node. The title you can find on the bottom. So you drag it into the data input. And the comments count can be found above. So basically all of the data you can find in the schema with the merge node output. And then you can just drag all of the data into these columns. Now we're going to create our new content ID. And we're gonna do an OpenAI messenger model. In the OpenAI messenger model, we gotta add our credential, the resource will be text, and the operation is messenger model. The model that we have picked is GPT-4o mini, and the first prompt is a role system, and the role is going to be you are an AI agent responsible for analyzing comments from a YouTube video and generating content IDs based on recurring themes, questions, or topics mentioned. We also added some instructions. These instructions are: read and understand the context of each comment. 2. Generate a concise and engaging content ID based on the comment. 3 is only output the content ID. Do not include explanations, reasoning, or additional text. And 4. Ensure the output is clear, actionable, and relevant to discussion in the comments. I also added 3 examples. These examples can help us to improve the outcome of the message model. The second prompt will be a role user, and this will be the comment that we have scraped. So we go back to the HTTPS node where we have scraped all of the comments, and then you can drag the scraped comment into this data input field. The simplify output will be on, and output content as JSON will be off. The last thing that we have to do is that we have to add our new content ID into our Google Sheets. So you will add your credential, you will update a row because you have already created a row, so you only want to update it. The columns to match on will be CID. The CID can be found by the HTTPS node, so go back to the HTTPS node, press the CID, and you can drag it into this data input field. And the content ID will be the output of the message model, so you can press content and drag it into this data input field. This workflow will also be free to download. The only thing that you have to do is go into our description, download the n8n workflow, go into your n8n, import it with the 3 dots, then you will press import file. You will drag the file that you've just downloaded from our description into the file that you have to import, and then the workflow will be visible. Then the only thing that you have to do is you refresh all of the data fields with your data, and then the workflow is ready to go. If you have any questions about this workflow, then leave a comment down below. And if you have also liked this video, then please do not forget to subscribe.